What's going on, guys? Welcome back to career mode, here today for round number 6 of the 2019 season, here for season 1 in the Racing Point. We're here today for the Monaco Grand Prix. Upgrades, we have an engine upgrade that has gone on the car. The chassis upgrade has failed. That was the one I was hoping for, so a little bit unfortunate there, but we'll make the best of it, hope for a good one. But let's go to practice for the Monaco GP.
The Monaco Grand Prix is upon us, and we're heading into the weekend with the first of the practice sessions. It's certainly not the easiest of tracks to navigate, so today is going to be incredibly valuable to the teams. Low's hairpin is the slowest corner of any track on the Formula One calendar. It's taken at just 48 kilometers an hour, but provides a stunning view on the first lap as the entire grid bunches up and tiptoes through the corner, hoping not to leave any carbon fibre parts behind.
This is such a tight bend that a special steering rack is used just to get around this very corner, as the cars would not normally be able to make the turn. There is the possibility of overtaking through lows, but more often than not, you'll end up damaging your car.
I've had a chat with Carl about the new parts, and we're happy that they've been integrated into the car okay. With any luck, you'll be able to feel the improvement, so give them a try.
Alright, so here we are for practice at the Monaco Grand Prix. Coming into this, expectations were not really high, not going to lie. This track is one that realistically probably shouldn't suit this car all too much. Obviously the Racing Point, we're more suited to power tracks, and this track really is anything but we got through all the practice programs fairly well. We had a little moment there, as you can see, where we just clipped the wall and round we go, but quick flashback later and we were all good. And went through all of the practice programs and got purple score on everyone apart from tyre wear, I believe. We actually struggled with that quite a bit as well, not going to lie, but yeah, we get through race strategy, we get through everything, no dramas. Topping practice 1 actually, ahead of Bottas and Leclerc, who are both on the soft tyres just like we are, so we might be set for a good weekend. We're on 108 Ultimate AI, so I don't know, this is interesting. We'll see how the rest of the weekend unfolds. Let's go.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. You really went all out in practice today. Are you testing new components?
Well, it's a bit pointless going out for practice if you're not trying to go full.
You were flying in practice. Do you think you can carry this over to qualifying?
I don't see why we can't. It's still the same car, it's meant to be dry, so hopefully we can try and park this thing at the front.
You left some bodywork out there on the track. Were you struggling for grip?
This one really annoys me when Claire asks this, because you've got to shag off either chassis or aero and you really don't want to, so yeah, I don't know.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Alright, thank you very much, Claire. So there we go, that was practice. As I said, we got through all the programs without a hitch, basically, apart from tyre wear. Probably would have been a different story if we had have had that chassis upgrade, but we won't worry about that. I think we actually have enough resource points to go and fix that now. Don't quote me on that, but we'll go and have a look. I think we might, I'm not 100% sure. Dry qualifying and dry race, thankfully, so we don't have to worry about using the intermediate or wet weather tyres. And we don't quite have enough, so that's a bit of a pain in the ass, but we should be all good after qualifying. And speaking of which, without further ado, let's get into qualifying for the Monaco Grand Prix, and hopefully Q3 awaits.
We're here at the magical Circuit de Monaco for one of the most challenging qualifying sessions on the Formula One calendar. Who can add their name to the illustrious list of Monte Carlo pole sitters here today? It always looked like the kind of track that asks an awful lot of the rear tyres, such as the frequency of low-speed exits.
No matter how good a driver is at managing their throttle application to limit rear slip, they can't always overcome a car that's inherently bad at looking after its rear tyres. Here we have a lot of low-speed corner exits, which means a whole load of energy, heat and tyre wear.
Okay, you should be able to get into the next qualifying session easily, so try to get a hot lap in early so we can save the tyres.
Alright, welcome guys to qualifying for the Monaco Grand Prix. Going out at the start of Q1, I just wanted to get a banker lap on the board. Puts us in P8 provisionally, felt pretty good, and that was actually good enough to get us straight through into Q2. We do have a 5-place grid penalty for a new gearbox unfortunately, so that's a little bit of a pain, but as long as we can qualify somewhere near the front, we should still be in a fairly good position to score some points. But on to Q2 now. I decided to go out right at the end of the session this time around, mainly because I just wanted to be out there when the track was going to be at its fastest, and yeah, you know, I thought that'd just be a better thing to be, and if we could time it right, hopefully we could squeak into Q3. But we come across the line and we go P6, splitting the two Red Bulls of Verstappen and Gasly, and that was enough in the end to get us through into Q2 with our teammate backing us up right behind us. So the racing points in 7th and 8th, so not looking too bad around here actually. But going on to Q3 now, and we're actually behind Daniel Ricciardo. He's on an outlap, believe it or not, and it really made things awkward. He just slowed down on the racing line. It would have been really good if he could have moved, and that's just screwed up my whole rhythm and momentum coming through this final section. This has been a dreadful run through the back end of this lap. So this is probably not going to be anywhere near our fastest time of the weekend, but hopefully we can at least get above P10 up to the line, and it is only 9th place ahead of Daniel Ricciardo, so I guess that's something. But yeah, we could have definitely gone better. Perez in 8th, so P8 and P9, not too bad I guess. I think there's obviously more time to find being held up by Daniel, but all in all, not too bad. We out-qualify our rival Romain Grosjean, drawing on the rivalry with Sergio Perez, so hopefully we can win that and get an extra chunk of resource points which you get for winning a rivalry. But yeah, starting from P12 or 13 I think it'll be, so hopefully we can have a good run of things, and let's go see what we can do.
A proper road race, and in the true meaning of the word. That was how Mr. Monaco, the late great Graham Hill, once described this iconic event. The cars we drive have come a long way in the intervening half-century, but still we race on those same public roads beside the Mediterranean Sea. There's no victory more coveted than that of the Monaco Grand Prix. The prestigious Circuit de Monaco then. It's not all that dissimilar today to the layout that made its debut almost a century ago. It's 2 miles and 19 corners through the streets of Monte Carlo, and although the average lap speed of around 93 miles per hour is the lowest of the season, the tiny margins for error make it the natural habitat of the safety car. And as the drivers start thinking about getting a good start and how on earth to get through Saint-Devote in one piece, I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, if we might be seeing a safety car or two today.
Well, you wouldn't exactly bet against it, would you? Statistically, it is pretty common, of course. About 80% of all Monaco Grand Prix will have at least one safety car. And that's despite the incredible work of the marshals around here, who you'll often see lifting cars out of the way just under the yellow flag conditions. The teams will always plan for the worst case scenario though, and they'll be making sure various caution periods are built into their strategy models for the race.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Hamilton, Kimi Raikkonen and Leclerc, Gasly, Perez, Ricciardo and Lucas Faber, Butler, Norris, Lee and Grosjean, Albon, Kvyat, Antonio Giovinazzi and George Russell. Kubica and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid, and with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
No heroics into Saint-Devote, please. We're in amongst the pack and just need to stay in one piece.
We will certainly try and do that, boss, but welcome guys to the grid of the Monaco Grand Prix, round number 6 here for career mode. Just a little side note too, does anyone else get that radio message like every time they're here at Monaco? I think that's something that is actually like a thing in the F1 2019 game. Like that's the only thing Jeffrey knows how to say when you come to Monaco. So I don't know, that's weird, but coming into this, as I said, expectations were not high. This is a track which I didn't expect to suit the racing point. We've had reasonable speed throughout the weekend. Topped FP1 obviously, both cars into Q3. So we're starting P13 with that 5-place grid penalty, so that's a little bit annoying. But I feel like we should be able to make some ground up in the early stages. We're on the soft compound tyres compared to the McLaren, or both McLarens rather, directly ahead of us, so hopefully we might be able to jump those guys, but we'll see what we can do. Should be a good one, hoping to at least score some points, maybe like a 7th or 8th, or you know, best of the rest. Might be a bit optimistic, isn't it? But we'll go see what we can do. But reforming, back on the grid now for one of my favourite racetracks on the game here today for the Monaco Grand Prix, awaiting 5 red lights, and away we go. Looks like a pretty average start compared to the field. Trying to pull alongside Lando Norris. We're going to send it up the inside of both McLarens into turn 1. Big dive. We clear Lando Norris. Devon Butler now alongside us, side by side with the old F2 rivals, and we clear the McLaren. That's up into P11 already. Next up is our former F2 teammate, Lucas Weber. Everything's about old F2 drivers on the opening lap. Send it down the inside. He's on hard tyres as well, so he's looking to go very long in this race. Maybe play the Bottas role for Ricciardo in a way and hold everyone up behind him. But yeah, we'll see what happens there and where he cycles through at the end of the race. But through the tunnel now, and we're up into P10, so we're already in the points. Pretty good start, cutting on now to the end of lap 1. Real good run up the inside of Ricciardo. A little bit of touching, but we do get the move done. And there we go, up into P9 now, right behind our teammate Sergio Perez. So by the end of lap 1, we're actually right back where we qualified in P9. So effectively, we've lost absolutely no ground whatsoever. But on the lap 10 now, we've still been able to keep up with our teammate. We decide to pull into the pits now for the undercut. We're going to come in now for a set of hard compound tyres, I believe. So hopefully the team is ready and they don't do a Daniel Ricciardo and leave me hanging. Into the pits, softs off, hards go on. Decent stop from the boys, they're actually ready, so that always helps. But anyway, good stop. Looks like we're going to emerge pretty much in last place, right in between the two Williams of George Russell and Robert Kubica. Not exactly where I wanted to be, not going to lie. I was hoping to clear these two, but we had to sit behind Russell, unfortunately, for basically the whole third sector, or the second half of the lap, basically. So we've lost a little bit of time having to follow the Williams around, trying to go around the outside in turn 1 now. That was a bit awkward, but we do get the move done, and that is the Williams driver dispatched of. Next up is the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. A couple of other drivers in the pitch as well. Sergio Perez, I think that was, coming out behind us. So we've jumped our teammate. We've got a real good run on the Ferrari of Leclerc. Up the hill, we're going to send it up the inside. Can we get this move done? He's on mediums as well, trying to go around the outside. Leclerc has the preferred inside line and he keeps the position. We're going to send it down the inside. Oh my god, that was close. We nearly run into his right rear, but we get the move done. That is up into P15 and ahead of the Ferrari driver. That is crucial if we can clear this traffic. Any spots we can gain now on cars that were ahead of us, like the Mercedes or something, or Ferraris, can be really helpful. Send it up the inside of Magnussen now on the end of lap 13. Again, that was pretty close, but sometimes you do just have to go for the big boy yeet and just hope for the best. We got lucky that time, thankfully. Now we're on the back of Danny Kvyat, and we get a good run up the hill again. We're going to try to do the same thing on him that we did to Charles Leclerc, up the inside. He's on hard tyres. Hopefully this might be a bit easy. We get the move done. Sticks the nose back in there. I was not expecting that. Well, as you can see, I mean, I turned in, not expecting Kvyat to be there. Let's just jump back on board for a quick replay. And yeah, as you can see, we're clearly ahead, and he just sticks his nose back in. I don't know, maybe I could have given him a bit more space, but I felt like I was, like, you know, clearly ahead. But finally into lap 15 now, Hamilton and Gasly being balked by a slower car of Alex Albon up the inside of Gasly, and that's up into P11. Hamilton has really been held up by Alex Albon here. He was numerous seconds up the road, and he just hasn't been able to get past. He's now trying to go around the outside in turn 1. We're right under the rear wing of Albon. We nearly actually run into him. We're going to go side by side now, are we? Send it up the inside again, and we get the move done almost in the wall. He's there on the left-hand side now. That's Gasly. He's got through an Albon now. I did not expect to see him there. I thought that was Gasly. I thought that was Albon, I beg your pardon. But yeah, it was Pierre in the Red Bull. But cutting on to lap 21 now, we're in P7. So we're in a pretty good position here. Cutting on to lap 26, now we're in 6th place, as I think it might have been Lucas Weber peeled in for a pit stop, but don't quote me on that. Lap 27, coming through turn 1, and I think that is Kimi Räikkönen in the Alfa Romeo with Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton. So we're going to try and make a move, if we can, on these front runners. Send it up the inside of Lewis, that's so close. Oh my god, we're still there. He doesn't leave us any room. Doesn't want to lose the position, but we get the move done. That, by all means, probably was a bit scrappy, maybe a little bit dodgy. But around here, I mean, you've got to go for the move at some point. You just have to. Otherwise, you're just going to be stuck in the train, period. But following Sebastian Vettel now, real good run on the Ferrari. Went defensive into turn 1. That's made him slow up the hill. But we're on the wrong side. Surely we're not going to try and make this work. No, Vettel gives us the squeeze towards the wall, and we have to back out of that one. And the German maintains P4 for now. And coming down, there's a yellow flag right here. What's going on? I think that might be a car behind us. Don't quote me on that. There's still yellow flags. I think Hamilton has actually spun. I think he's actually clipped the chicane or something, and he has his out of the race now. So Hamilton, from fighting for a podium, is now out. We're going to send it up the inside there. We've got to cut back to our POV. We're past Vettel now, up into P4. Went for the big boy dive, and it paid off. So now right up behind Kimi Räikkönen. This is for a podium position. Neither the Alfa Romeo or Racing Point should be vying for a podium at this stage in the season, but this is Monaco. Anything can happen around here. We get a good run on the Alfa. Can we out-drag him up the hill? He actually has good straight line speed. We are running incredibly high wings. I think it's like 9.11 or 10.11 or something. So we're not really very speedy in a straight line. On to the start of lap 37, thinking about a move again. Kimi defends ever so slightly. We get slightly better drive out of turn 1, but again, just haven't got the grunt up the hill to pull up alongside the Alfa Romeo. Almost into the back of him now, as we come into that little kind of chicane, kind of corner. I forget the corner names around here, so forgive me for that. But on to the start of lap 38, 2 laps to go. We've got to try and get this done sooner or later if we want this podium. Right under the rear wing of the Alfa. Can we try and get the move done? No, we're right under the rear wing. Do we look for a move up the inside? No. We sit behind him, and this is really testing my patience. I feel like I'm quicker than the Alfa, but I just cannot get the move lined up. Onto the penultimate lap of the race. Are we going to look to the inside? No. That was probably the best chance we're going to get. We're going to have to try and line him up on the final lap now. 1 lap to go around this Monaco Grand Prix, and this is for the final spot on the podium. Let's make it count. Around the outside into turn 1 of the Alfa Romeo. Nearly in the wall. Do we get the move done? He's still there. I can't cut across like I wanted to. He's still there on the outside. Really good straight line speed coming up the hill. He tries to go around the outside, and oh my god, father, he's pulled it off. But we're going to switch back up the inside now. Side by side into the right hander. Jesus Christ, I'm losing my breath. We slot in behind Alfa. He takes back P3. Bottas wins the race, but I don't give a crap about that. You guys know what we're planning. We're going to have to send it up the inside of Raikkonen. We touch tyres. That was really a bit dodgy from both of us there, side by side. Looks like we're gonna get the move done. We're into P3, up to the line, we should hang on. P3, baby, yes!
Okay, good job, mate. Really well done. That was a fantastic drive.
That's it for another Grand Prix and a fantastic win for Mercedes. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, I know it's a bit of a boring answer, but the truth is they simply had the best speed package on the day, and a driver who knows how to take advantage of that. It doesn't matter how much time you spend poring over the stats and planning strategies if you can't keep the pace, and our winner today showed they could do both.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
So there we have it, guys. That has been career mode here today for the Monaco Grand Prix. Oh boy, that I don't know how to feel about that, to be honest. We had to go for the dive, and like I knew I was going to try something, but I don't know if that was league racing. I might have given the position back maybe, but I don't know. That's kind of borderline, but it's P3. From 13th on the grid, I will sure as hell take that in a car that normally doesn't belong on the podium. And at a track like this, definitely shouldn't even be in the top 5. Perez, unfortunately, he misses out on the points, so a bit unfortunate there for the constructors. But a solid all of 15 points from us, so that should still keep us in the game fairly well. Standings, we move up to P3 with that result, so now we're 3rd in the drivers, 3rd in the constructors, so all's looking really well. Let's go and talk to Claire and see what she reckons.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. Devon did much better in today's race than he did in qualifying. Were you expecting that?
To be honest, I wasn't paying attention. Kind of more worried about ourselves, just in case you weren't aware of that.
You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you?
Yeah, I think everybody knows that. 13th to 3rd. I think we did gain a few.
Everything went your way today. It looked like you had a really good strategy for the race.
Yeah, it worked. Tyres survived. We didn't crash. So, that's a good day's work, right?
Things are really heating up between you and your rival, aren't they?
Yeah, things are definitely close between us. He seems to be better in qualifying, but we seem to be better in the race.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Alright, thank you very much, Claire. So there we go, guys. That has been round number 6, episode 7 of my F1 2019 Career Mode Series, leading both the rivalries against our teammate and Roman Grosjean, so that's good. We'll get a solid chunk of resource points as well, so that'll be handy. We get the team gold bonus, so nearly 1,000 resource points, so that's a real good day's work if I say so myself. But we'll we'll see what Emma thinks, shall we?
Excellent result today. Finishes like that will look good on your contract reviews. On to the next one. Looks like one of your rivals has also been invited to a historical event. This could be a good opportunity to play up your rivalry for the press and expand your reputation.
Alright, couple of invitational events, not too fussed about them. As per usual, we'll just go do those off camera. We've got 1,000 resource points, so let's go have a look-see. What can we do? We've got a major engine upgrade, or we could do a minor downforce upgrade. I think we might go for downforce. We're actually best of the rest in the aero department right now, which is kind of surprising. So we're going to go for a minor front downforce upgrade. So hopefully that will go on the car next episode, along with this major chassis weight reduction upgrade. But thank you guys for tuning in. That has been the Monaco Grand Prix. A great race, great recovery. So Can't complain about that at all. But thank you guys for tuning in. If you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe, stay tuned for plenty more. And until the next video, I'll see you guys next time.